What's up, you guys? Friendly Neighborhood Geek here, doing another Batman video game review. Yeah, still on my Batman kick. Yeah. We are looking at Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker for the PlayStation 1. This came out in 2000. It was developed by a studio called Kemco, who I've probably heard of. I'm not sure what other games they've made. It was published by Ubisoft, which I believe Ubisoft is still around, well known publisher, developer, whatever. Um, yeah, this was for the Game Boy Color, the N64, and PS1. We're talking about the PlayStation 1 version because that's the one I was able to access. Um, But yeah, for those who don't know, Batman Beyond was a sequel series to the 90s Batman show that takes place way, way, way into the future, where Bruce Wayne is obviously retired. He's an old man now. He meets a teenager named Terry McGinnis, and Terry basically becomes the new Batman. I'm not sure how many seasons, I've seen most of it. Um, but yeah, I don't think I've seen every episode. It's a really good show, really, really good show. And again, it was original, it was unique, it was creative. It was an original concept. Terry had never appeared in a comic up until this point. He was a brand new character. This version of Batman was a brand new version made for the show, and that was one of the things that made it really unique. Um, so in 2000, we got Return of the Joker, which was a movie that takes place during the series where the Joker returns and the new Batman has to fight him or defeat him and save Gotham and all that good stuff. So yes, this is our only video game based off this show, outside of like the costume being like you being able to wear the costume in like more recent Batman games, like the Arkham games and stuff, which is really dope. And I kind of put this in the same category as Dragon Ball GT Transformation, which I did a video on. I mean, that game, to my knowledge, is like the only Dragon Ball game that solely focuses on Dragon Ball GT and no other, version of the Dragon Ball series. And then, ironically, both this game and GT Transformation are beat 'em ups. Yes, we are looking at a Batman beat 'em up. Um, Unfortunately, I don't think this has a good reputation. Honestly, I liked it. Again, if I was a kid playing this, it did have its challenge. It has a difficulty level. It has like easy, medium, hard mode. But if I was a kid, I think I would have liked it. I think if you're a kid and you were a fan of the series, I think you would gravitate to it. But as an older fan playing it, yeah, I understand. Maybe you would have wanted something a little bit different. Maybe you would have wanted something more than what we got. Um, but for what it is, it's not terrible. I'll say that right off the bat. I liked it. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed what I played. I will say you could like beat it in like a day, like 2 days. So that's kind of a bummer. It's not that long, unfortunately, but it is uh, a movie tie-in, an animated movie tie-in game. So there's only so much they could really do with that anyway. Um, you play as Terry. You go through the story of the movie, fighting Joker's gang, and doing some other video game oriented stuff. But it's very straightforward. It's a beat 'em up. But they did do the developers were creative though with the gameplay. There are different settings that you could use. They represent different suits. Well, visually the suit stays the same, but the abilities that the suit has changes, and it gives you the option to change the different suits. Like one suit, he has like basically bat bombs. They're like batarangs, but they explode when they hit the enemy. He can You can throw those. He has like some bat chucks, which are really fun. It sounds funny, it sounds silly, but it's really cool. He has like these nunchucks that he could use. He has like a staff that he can use. Of course, he has his punch and kick, attack, combo attack, stuff like that. You can switch that around where he'll do different type of attacks with the punches and the kicks. Um, he has a suit that makes him more aerial. He can double jump and glide and do some other cool stuff. Um, And there's some platform elements too. Like you might come into a room where you have to do some platforming. You might have to use your wings and glide over large gaps. And so they did try to break it up outside of just the straightforward beat 'em up sections, which I like. One cool thing that I don't understand why it wasn't in this version. There is an unlockable in the N64 version where you can play with the classic, I guess, Bruce Wayne costume bat suit. But in the PS1 version, you can't do that, which I don't understand why. Why would you not put that cheat in the PS1 version? So that gives me a reason to check out the N64 version, so I could check out that cheat. Um, there's a time attack mode. The cutscenes are just kind of like stills from the movie, but they aren't the same quality as the sequences in the movie. Which, yeah, like when the scenes come on screen, you get like you're able to follow what's going on. It has the text that you can read, but they just don't look that good. They kind of look like they were thrown together, unfortunately. Um, like the sequence stills or whatever, however you say it. But one cool thing, the loading screens have some really cool artwork and stuff like that. So I do like that. Um, the music is fine. It fit the tone of the show, the tone of the movie. I think the music worked. The boss fights, yeah, straightforward. Some of them had a pattern you had to learn, like dodge or evade or jump out of the way, try to get a couple hits in, and repeat the same format. So that's cool. Like I said, there, some variety with the bosses. Um, but I mean, it was fine. It was solid. Like I said, as a fan of, I love Return of the Joker. I've seen it many times. As a fan of this Batman movie and a fan of this incarnation of Batman, I didn't, like I said, I didn't hate it. I don't dislike this game. It's fine. It's straightforward. I found it to be fun. Um, a little mindless, which isn't bad. I mean, a beat 'em up. It doesn't have to be super duper complex, And again, it was a tie-in game to a cartoon, to a cartoon geared towards children. I mean, children and teenagers, young adults. So it's not like we were going to get Arkham, like an Arkham game in 2000 or some of the other Batman games that were released, some years later at that time, or even like Batman Begins. I mean, it would have been cool if this game played like Batman Begins, but um, yeah, yeah, and like there's a plethora of Batman games. So if you didn't want to play this one, you have options. But like I said, it was solid. I liked it. Um, check it out if you're interested on the N64, on the PlayStation 1. I'm not sure if I'll check out the Game Boy Color one. Probably not, but that one exists as well if you're interested. But yeah, that's kind of it for this one. Like I said, I recommend it. I liked it. I didn't think it was bad. Like, comment, share, and follow, and all that good stuff. Next video, honestly, I don't know. It could be anything. Fan film, animated movie, video game, anime. It could be an update video. I might have to do another one of those pretty soon. So yeah, go check out Batman. Go check out the movie. I don't know if I'll do a review on the movie. Maybe we'll see. Either check out the movie. I think it's currently free on YouTube. Check out the game, Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. Yeah, peace, you guys. What's up, you guys? Excuse me, friendly neighborhood geek here. Doing another Batman animated movie review. This time, I know it's kind of small. We'll work what we got. I didn't bother to edit. I just found this with the two movies together, so we'll work with what we got. Yes, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2. I believe these came out like a year apart. I think the first one came out like 2012 or something. The second one came out like 2013, 2014. Um, excuse me. Like with my last couple of Batman animated reviews, all of these movies are currently on YouTube, so you can watch them for free. I suggest you do that while they're available. I never saw these. I've seen clips throughout the years, but I've never seen these from beginning to end. I am a fan of this storyline. The Dark Knight Returns is a storyline that was, I believe, written by Frank Miller. I'm not sure. I may have had another person draw the comic, but it was a very well-known Frank Miller Batman story. Frank Miller being a very well-known comic book writer in the comic book industry. And it was basically the adventures of old Batman. Like Batman coming out of retirement to save Gotham, protect Gotham City. He gets a new Robin who's a female, which is really cool. Um, a lot of stuff happens, a lot of political stuff and gang related stuff we see, which I'll get into. But it's a really cool story, and it eventually got multiple sequels, for better or for worse, unfortunately. But it was a really good story, well made, and kind of revision certain popular characters like Joker, or I think Green Arrow shows up, um, Wonder Woman, and I think some other Justice League characters. But they're not. Wonder Woman is not in this one, but Superman shows up, and that's a really cool scene. Superman shows up. Um, but yeah, these are good. These were great. I think these were both directed by Jay Olivia. Thought they did a good job. Cast was fine. Animation for the most part still holds up. It's just cool to see like just older versions of characters we already know, we're familiar with. You're familiar with Batman, the DC universe. Um, so like I said, just cool to see a different, just a different take on these characters, really. And like I said, it's entertaining. The first one, again, he comes out of retirement. There's this gang that has formed in Gotham, causing a lot of chaos and stuff. Batman, like I said, comes out of retirement. Um, he eventually recruits a new Robin named Carrie. I think her name's Carrie Kelly. I always liked her. I always liked her design. She's one of my favorite Robins. Um, and he confronts the gang leader and defeats him, essentially. And now the gang, kind of spoiler, I guess they kind of see Batman as their new leader. And now he's like, yeah, I'm going to teach you all how to be proper vigilantes, not criminals. I'm going to teach you all to be, protectors, defenders, vigilantes of Gotham City, which was really, really cool. It was really, really dope. The second one, the government isn't too fond of what Batman's been doing, even though he's been helping the community, So now Superman works for the government, and they have Superman go talk to him. Of course, Superman is like, yeah, we've had this, well, for the most part, we've been friends. We worked together all these years. So he's kind of like trying to talk Bruce down, like, hey, I'm gonna need you to stop, or this, I'm gonna have to, things might get a little ugly if you don't. And of course, Batman's like, I'm not backing down. He's like, I'm not backing down from that. Some shenanigans with the Joker take place, which are really cool. And the Joker scenes were really good. And Batman, is like, it's cool because, like, even though if this is your first introduction to these versions of the characters, it's like we see that these characters have a long history of knowing each other or whatever. So I like how well that's shown on screen. Like, it's like we can believe, like, yeah, these people have been around for a long time. They've had a lot of adventures that us as the audience have not seen, but we know that they exist and they happen. And that's really cool to kind of capture that on film. So the sequences with Batman and Joker are really cool. And Batman's kind of like I'm done. I'm tired. Like, I'm not giving you any more chances. Like, Batman's probably, like, was very close to breaking his no kill rule. Like, it's like, I'm done with you. Like, it's like, there's no saving you anymore, Joker, basically. So he was very close to killing Joker, which was like, oh shit, this is crazy. Um, I won't spoil how Joker dies. It's interesting. Um, but it was a good scene. It was a really, really good scene. If you love a Batman versus Joker fight, this was a good one. Um, like I said, some more stuff happens. He recruits Green Arrow offers to help Batman deal with Superman, which was a cool scene, which was pulled from the comic. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Oh, um, yeah. So we get a final battle between Batman and Superman, which for anyone who's seen Dawn of Justice, that movie kind of that fight scene with Batman and the armor suit fighting Superman, that was pulled from The Dark Knight Returns, basically. Which wasn't a bad thing. It was cool to see that sequence in live action, but I might talk about Dawn of Justice because I rewatched it a couple months ago. I still like it, but it's dated in areas, especially seeing where the new DC movies, the direction they're going in now. Yeah, that movie, yeah, it's kind of dated. Well, we'll see. I might talk about Dawn of Justice. Um, but that, again, that was cool. Like we see Batman has all these cool tricks and gadgets he's using on Superman, and we see seeing them fight, and it was good. It was entertaining. Like oh shit, this got real. Like Batman's taking on Superman. Um, and of course he didn't. Batman didn't kill Superman, but Superman lost the fight, and Batman had this epic speech at the end. Like, I just want you to know the one man who beat you was me. Like, it wasn't me. It was good. It was good. Like, this again, if you love these characters like me, then you'll appreciate the dialogue and stuff like that. Um, and then, well, I won't spoil how it ends, but the finale is good. The finale is entertaining. So I mean, I haven't read the original comic. I would like to at some point. So I do think they did a good job of capturing. Of course, they didn't adapt everything. Well, I think some, like I said, like Wonder Woman and some other characters, I think they maybe come towards the end, or they come in later stories. But what we got was good. So Catwoman, okay, excuse me, cameos in this a little bit. Which is cool because we see that in this version, Catwoman and Batman did have a relationship, and they still do. They still did to an extent. So that was really cool. Um, but yeah, it was good. These were solid. These were solid. Like I said, if you're a Batman fan and you want something different and you've never seen them like me, they're good watches. Good solid two-parter. I mean, you could watch it in like a day, watch it in 2 days, whatever. And like I said, there's a lot of DC movies for free, and a lot of them I haven't seen yet, honestly. So I'm kind of like, let me check out these movies while they're available. While you don't have to pay for them. So, like I said, they're on YouTube. If you want to check them out, I recommend them. Great, solid Batman stories. Like, comment, share. Stay tuned for more. Peace, you guys.